Team BDS is a titan of European Rocket League. The team of Extra, Monkey Moon, and Mark by 8 dominated the European scene for an entire year. However, after a slight downturn in results and a subpar showing at the RLCS 21-22 Winter Major, Team BDS decided it was time to make a change, benching Mark by 8 in favor of a mechanical phenom from Endpoint. This, of course, is Seikoo. This roster move brings to an end one of the most dominant eras in Rocket League history. However, the roster now of Extra, Monkey Moon, and Seikoo are primed to begin a new one. What is going on, guys? Horizon here, and in today's video we are going to take a deep dive into how BDS maintains their dominance against Moist Esports in the grand finals of the first regional of the spring split. Before we do hop into it though, as always, if you guys are enjoying the content and you feel like making somebody's day today, please consider clicking that bright red subscribe button right down below this video. It really does help me out a lot more than you guys realize, and I really do appreciate it. With that all said, let's hop right on in. We are going to pick things up here in the final game of the Grand Finals, just as BDS begins to launch the attack that will lead to their first goal. And in this play, we are really going to see just how Team BDS makes this an all-around team effort, getting all of their players involved to help them succeed. This play is going to start out by taking a look at both Rise as well as Seikoo. So as BDS gets this clear downfield, those are going to be our first two players as we start off this play. So let's go ahead and take a look at how this transpires. Monkey Moon gets a challenge and Rise brings the clear out. Now immediately when this happens, Seikoo notices one thing. This ball is no longer close enough to Rise for Seikoo to really be scared of Rise maintaining control. So all Seikoo really has to do, he doesn't have to panic, he can just back up to around this boost pad and wait for this ball to come down, because all Rise is going to be able to do from this position is 50-50 this ball. So if we play this forward, we'll see Rise come down, Seikoo just backs up, and immediately takes his challenge. Throughout this play, what we're going to see is not so much Team BDS playing for outplays, but rather playing for touches that are going to keep the ball locked in the Moist Esports half. So after this initial challenge from Seikoo, he does get demoed, but now we'll see Joyo going up for this ball that is now pinched up towards the ceiling, and Extra is now just patiently waiting on the sidewall, and you'll notice his jump here, he's not playing for a beat here. There's no way he's getting this ball past Joyo, because Joyo's right next to it. So all Extra can do is get a blocking touch here, which is exactly what he's going to try to do, and by coming down and pinching this ball on the ground with Joyo, it's going to keep the ball locked right here in the Moist Esports half. So now the ball pinches across. Monkey Moon has the green light to challenge as he knows that Seikoo has respawned behind him, and now clearly from this position, Monkey Moon knows he's not going to be able to hit this ball forward. Because going forward, he's going to get blocked by either Joyo and or Vatira. But if we look at the positioning of where all the Moist Esports players are, they're all over here on the left, which means the entire right side of the field is wide open. So if Monkey Moon can manage to get the ball over there, what it's going to do is it's going to cause the entire Moist Esports defense to go this way, because they're going to follow the ball. So we'll see, right as Monkey Moon comes in for this, he's not going to hit this forward, he's going to wait to touch it, also getting a slight fake on Vatira, as Vatira is expecting a touch to come through. Monkey Moon's going to fake off of it slightly, and play the ball over to the side. And now if we watch the entire Moist Esports defense, here they all come, wandering over right in to this corner. So now with the ball over here, and all of the Moist Esports players over here, all Monkey Moon really has to do is put this ball into a favorable spot that will allow someone coming from a better angle to put a shot on net. So if we take a look at what happens here, Monkey Moon's going to go ahead and take this up into an air dribble. Seikoo's going to see this, he's going to bail out. And now we'll notice a bit of rough positioning here from Moist Esports, as we got both Joyo and Rise chilling on the back wall here. So ideally, if Joyo had stayed in net and Rise had come up the wall and jumped out to challenge this, we would have someone in position to defend whatever 50-50 comes out of this. However, because we end up with both Joyo and Rise on the backboard, all Monkey Moon has to do is get a favorable 50, again, continuing to play for those blocking touches, not necessarily full outplays, but just making sure we're getting contact and keeping the ball locked in favorable situations. This ball is going to drop right to Extra, who, like we said, is taking advantage of the Moist Esports all being positioned over here to take a much more favorable path to this ball to be able to beat any defensive player to it. And as we see here, Extra is going to slot that ball right under Rise. So, if we look at this again a bit, and just take a look, once again, at this one more time. So it starts out here. Rise is going to get the clear. Seikoo's just going to back up to the boost and take this challenge. Challenge number 1. Keeping the ball in half. Every touch going to keep the ball in the half. How many touches can we get? Second one to keep the ball in the half. Again, not really playing for outplays, just blocks. Monkey Moon's going to come in, keep the ball in the half. Again, go for a challenge, and then for the about 5th challenge in a row, not going to play for outplays, just dropping the ball in a favorable situation, and that will result in BDS's first goal. So what we're seeing from Team BDS is a much more solid straight rotation, not playing to be annoying to the defenders or to cause them trouble, but rather just playing for things that are going to keep the ball in their opponent's half so that Team BDS can maintain pressure and control of the play. And on to Team BDS's second goal in this game. We're going to start here with 1:51 left with Moist Esports actually having a bit of control here. And we're going to start with this clear from Extra. Now, one of the great things that BDS has always been good at is getting clears into places that their teammates can follow up on. So you'll notice that with the positioning of Team BDS in this situation, that this clear from Extra is going to come out through the corner. And Seikoo, all he has to do is just keep on driving his way up the wall, and he can meet the ball right about here. And it will allow them to get a much stronger clear down the field. So we'll see this as the ball comes across. Seikoo comes up the wall. And because BDS knows exactly where this ball is going, Seikoo is able to beat out Joyo on this challenge and get the ball screaming downfield. Now, this second goal is a lot less about BDS doing something incredibly well that causes a lot of issues for Moist, and rather about Moist just kind of making some weird mistakes. Mistake number 1 is going to come right here. Because if we look at the situation we're at right now, we got Extra in the back corner, probably picking up that boost because he has like nothing, and that is correct. And actually like all of Moist is low except for Rise, and most of BDS is low. Extra is about to get that extra boost. So with the situation we're in right now, Monkey Moon, currently miles away from the play. Seikoo, in the air, miles away from the play. Extra, picking up this back boost, miles away from the play. So if you're Rise in this situation, you absolutely, under no circumstances, after having goals get scored by BDS just keeping you in your half, want to just take this ball and boom it away as hard as possible over to this wall. Because if you do that, Monkey Moon's gonna go, cool, thanks a lot, I'll drive up this wall and attack it as it gets here. So if I'm Rise in this situation, just look at all the space. An entire field worth of space. So he should take this ball down on a dribble and focus on buying his teammates time to get back, number 1, and then his first objective is to beat Monkey Moon. Because if you beat Monkey Moon, you're now in a much more favorable position. Because Seikoo's going to take a bit to get back in the play, and then you'll only have Extra left to deal with. But instead, what Rise does is he clangs this up into the wall. And just like we said, BDS, 9 times out of 10, is going to say to themselves, okay, how can I put this ball back into your half so there's no pressure on us? And lo and behold, Monkey Moon's like, oh, sweet, you know, I got only 7 boost, but I can go up to get this, and actually, he already snags the mid boost on spawn, so that might be a little bit favorable. But Monkey Moon's able to go up and get this ball, and clear it back into the midfield. Now, with this touch, he hits it hard enough that it gets a decent distance out into the midfield, but he doesn't hit it so hard that it gets a lot closer to the Moist members who are recovering back from boost, and rather allows his teammate to be the next person to attack the ball. So really nice touch by Monkey Moon there to allow a situation where he knows that they'll be able to get out of their half because he put the ball in just the right spot that Extra can follow up on. So Extra's going to go ahead and get this clear. Now again, he's not really hitting this ball to beat anybody on Moist, because this touch is not dangerous enough to really cause any kind of major harm to these guys who are back. But he wants to put them in a situation where one of them has to expend the boost and position to go ahead and get this ball out. So he's going to hit this towards the backboard, right around the crossbar height, so Joyo's got to make a play on it. So Joyo does. Now what Extra's going to do is he is going to apply a bit of pressure to Vatira coming across. So Joyo gets this clear across, and Extra's going to come bother Vatira. Now, this is where we have a problem, because Joyo is falling onto this wall. Where Vatira is going is right onto this wall. So we're about to run into a bit of a traffic jam between Joyo and Vatira, which means that this ball is going to be free for the BDS member that's coming down the line, which in this case is Monkey Moon. So in this instance, I think Vatira, instead of running this way, just needs to trust that Joyo's got this touch, and Extra's probably not going to turn back on this because he's got a pretty poor angle to go for, and should have just rotated back this way. Because if he does this, let's take a look. As soon as this touch comes through, instead of half flipping this way, if he just drives, pad, parks at this post, Joyo's going to get the clear across, Joyo can follow it, and then Vatira would be about here to follow this up and defend anything else that might be coming their way. But instead, he half flips right into the path of Joyo, and lo and behold, we have a team bump. So now, with this team bump happening, Joyo has absolutely no chance to come out and get this ball. Rise is still way out of the play. So because Rise is so far out of the play, it's really important that these guys manage to buy enough time for him to get back so they can play 3-man defense. But instead they bump into each other, and now Monkey Moon has a free touch. Now, the play is not over yet. You still have 2 people in between Monkey Moon and the goal, which is good. So what needs to happen is one of them needs to be ready to challenge, probably on this wall, and the other one needs to take a couple of seconds to get in to a favorable position in net. Because sitting like here isn't really going to do a whole lot with someone attacking the near post. So it's really important that they get around so they can make a play out on whatever ball comes in. Well, if we see what happens, Vatira's going to go up the wall, and it looks like they both had pretty similar ideas, because once again, they're rotating right around the same area of like right around here-ish. And now Joyo has enough time to recover back into net. Maybe he thinks Rise is going to be able to get back faster, so he's going to let him rotate back. But because Joyo makes this play to go on the wall, like towards the wall with Vatira and then do this weird turnaround, he has absolutely no way to defend anything that's coming right to this wall. Because if we look at it from Vatira's perspective, or Joyo's perspective rather, we'll see that with how he's positioned, there is just absolutely no chance to get up to do anything about a touch coming up to that wall. Meanwhile, if he had circled all the way back into net, he might have been able, if he was here and facing this way, he would have been able to challenge this ball rather than facing out like this and not being able to make any kind of play. Because all Monkey Moon has to do is now to kind of bring the ball down on top of him, and Joyo kind of panics because, oh shoot, gotta make a touch to make sure this doesn't go in, and it ricochets right off of him and into the net. So that second goal really comes down to a lot more of Moist Esports errors, rather than Team BDS making huge outplays. Again, if we look at this one more time just to kind of summarize everything, starts right here with this clear from Extra, playing the ball directly over to Seikoo, allowing BDS to get the clear. Rise not utilizing the space that he has to try to put BDS under a bit of pressure, instead just booms the ball away. Monkey Moon says, thank you very much, I will block this touch and make sure we are the ones going on transition. Puts it in a perfect spot that allows Extra to follow up while making the Moist Esports players stay back. Extra gets the hit downfield. Vatira makes a questionable rotation choice to rotate towards the direction that Joyo is going to be clearing this ball rather than away from it, which causes a traffic jam here, as he also has to avoid the demo from Extra. So now there's a team bump, and unfortunately, Joyo doesn't take enough time to rotate fully back into net so he can face the play, but rather makes a drifting U-turn to face forward, which then allows Monkey Moon, after beating Vatira on the wall, to take a couple of touches along the back wall and pinch this ball right off the top of Joyo, right into the net. But all in all, in this series, BDS just looked absolutely dominant. They did a really nice job of maintaining clean rotations, making sure they were keeping Moist trapped in their half by just playing for blocking touches rather than outplays, because you don't have to outplay the player if your 50-50 can just keep the ball locked in your opponent's half. At the end of the day, time will tell if this new roster will begin a new era of dominance for Team BDS, but they are off to about as good of a start as you could have asked for. So thank you everybody so much for watching, as I greatly appreciate it. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like, hit that subscribe button, and turn on notifications. If you guys have any thoughts or opinions about the new look Team BDS, go ahead and throw those thoughts down in the comments below. Love to hear your thoughts on this new team. As well, if you have any video ideas or suggestions, go ahead and throw those down there as well. As always, I look forward to checking those out. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. See you later, guys.